Hey Canucks fans, the Vancouver Canucks defeated the Washington Capitals 3-2 in overtime. A very entertaining game. Actually, both of these early weekend games have been quite good. And with this win, the Canucks up their record on this road trip to 2-1-1. So let's talk about what I liked, what I didn't like, and one other thing. What I liked, well, obviously I like the Canucks goals. That's why I break them down in other vlogs. And really, all three goals were really nice. The Conor Garland goal was had a really good headman pass from Juleson from his own zone, finds Garland on a partial breakaway, and he puts it past Kempner. I was surprised that Garland shot from so far out, but it was a really, really good shot. Then, of course, Höglander's goal, super nice when Petey and Höglander play together. Both of them have really, really nice hands, and that was Höglander coming in and putting in up top on the backhand from in tight. And, of course, the game-winning goal with 5 seconds left. It's funny, the Canucks lose 23 seconds into overtime yesterday against Detroit on that penalty shot and that horrible gritty. And then, no, that's not why they lost. But JT Miller picks up a very fortuitous turnover by McMichael, who actually had a really strong game and a really strong overtime. But this one, he passes it to Miller, and Miller puts it past a stunned Kempner with only 5 seconds left. So I like the three Canucks goals, and I like the way, I loved all three of them were scored. Garland on a partial breakaway, Höglander in tight, and then Miller with that really heads-up play. And I really like, actually, it was a whistle with 22 seconds left, and it was Miller, Petey, and Hughes for those final 22 seconds. Two centers probably, just in case you lose the draw. I believe the Canucks lost that draw, and I believe that the Capitals had control of the puck, but it was the aggressive forecheck. Petey's not afraid to be aggressive in overtime, and notice, high risk, high reward, and it actually leads to the turnover, the giveaway that leads to the Canucks win. So overall, I like the way they handled that last 22 seconds. I love Thatcher Demko's play, obviously making 32 saves on 34 shots. Many of them really, really good. 31 saves on 33 shots, whatever. It was close. Was it 31 and 33 or 32 and 34? Regardless, he only led in 2 goals, so he did a really, really good job. I like the pace of the game, actually, especially in the third period. Hardly any whistles. I thought the overtime was back and forth. So overall, a very entertaining game. And I like Noah Juleson's game. We knew that the Canucks were going to be hard-pressed a little bit with the suspension to Nikita Zadorov, 2-game suspension. This is game number 1. So Mark Friedman comes in the lineup for the first time in a long, long time. Only plays 11 minutes. Juleson only plays 14 and a half minutes, but he was solid. He had 3 hits, and he also had the assist on that first goal by Conor Garland. So if you're wondering, if Friedman only had 11 minutes, Juleson only had 14 and a half minutes, well, and then if Myers and Cole had under 20 minutes, yes, Quinn Hughes played 29 minutes today. I get probably 2 or 3 of those were in overtime, but still 29 minutes. And Philip Hronek not too far behind at 26 minutes. So those were a lot of things I liked. Obviously, all the goals. I like the pace of the play. I like the fact that they scored. They won the game, obviously, and they scored with only 5 seconds left. And a couple milestones. JT Miller, that's his 8th career overtime winner. I don't think it's all 8 with the Canucks, but maybe most of them. So now he's 3rd in all-time overtime winners for the Canucks with 8. And then Thatcher Demko is, I believe, his 109th regular season win. So he's tied for 4th, I believe, in the all-time standings. I'm sure behind Luongo, some sort of order of Luongo, McLean, and Brodeur. But yes, I think he's tied with Kluchi now. So 4th overall in Canucks wins by goaltender. So all things that I liked for sure. Okay, what didn't I like? Yeah, it wasn't a perfect game, of course. I didn't like the Canucks power play. They went 0 for 3, and it doesn't matter. It was kind of interesting that they played the second unit for 2 of those 3 power plays. They played the second unit first, and for the first power play, they stayed out there for the whole 2 minutes, kind of giving the first unit a taste of their own medicine. The second power play, they did the first 45 seconds before ceding to the first unit, and the third power play was the first unit out there. But regardless, they did that because the first unit has been giving up shorthanded goals left, right, and center. So I'm okay with that statement. I'm okay with that coaching from Rick Tocchet. But regardless, if it's first unit, second unit, or third unit, not that there's such a thing, I want them to capitalize more. That's a couple games in a row now where they haven't scored on the power play, and that they had that power play with 3 minutes left in the game. What that could have been the game cincher right there, instead of waiting until 5 seconds left in overtime. Didn't like Tyler Myers' game. I found he was very uneven, and there were many times where I've caught myself yelling at the screen, or more appropriately, yelling at Myers through the screen. I just think he makes bad decisions. Whether it's leaving, I think he left someone wide open, Tom Wilson, maybe in overtime. There are many times, sometimes on the same shift, where he does not make the simple play coming out of his zone. He gives it away because he tries to do too much, tries to hang on, tries to stick handle, or he'll hit ref or linesman coming out of the zone. I'm not a Tyler Myers basher, and I know it sounds like I am right now. I just think he had a rough game, and when you're down 2 of your top 6 defensemen in Soucy and Zadorov, you need your top 4 to play really well. And I think I think Myers and Cole struggled a little bit today. Now Cole, he did have a couple offensive chances, but on that first goal by Washington, that Dowd tip in, I thought he made a really poor play in the defensive zone by not picking up Dowd. He kind of didn't pick up anyone. Pedersen or Suter or someone was checking the guy in the corner, so Dowd Cole should be much more aware of Nick Dowd streaking to the middle of the net, to the slot. And then similarly, Joshua on the second goal. And I thought Joshua just had an okay game. I thought Garland and Bluger were better on his line. I thought Joshua struggled a little bit. He was up and down, but definitely on the second goal, credit to Ovechkin that went off of Neil Zamon's skate. That all started because Joshua did not clear the puck. He had a lot of time in his own end, but he tried to put it up the boards, and TJ Oshie knocked it down with his glove. And I get it. Most goals, you just look at the game winner, most goals, it's a combination of sometimes good offensive skill, but a lot of times it's because of errors. Because if one team's doing something good to score, usually the other team didn't do something good to let that goal in. And I'd say Cole on the first goal, I didn't like that play. And then Joshua on the second goal, I didn't like his weak clearing attempt. So just some things to think about. One other thing, this is what I just noticed. The 4 games coming out of the break. Carolina, win. Boston, horrible loss. Detroit, aggravating loss. Washington, exciting win. So 3 of the 4 games have been close, except for the Boston one. But Washington, Detroit is a playoff team. Washington's kind of out of the playoff bar. But I've just noticed that the games after the All-Star break have gotten a lot tougher. And I think the Canucks, I think they're expecting this. They're going to be prepared for this. But I just noticed as a fan, that Carolina game, the Boston game, this Detroit game, the Detroit game yesterday and the Washington game today, doesn't matter what time of day they're played in. All 4 games were exciting in varying levels, but they're much tougher games. And I think that's what the Canucks should expect for their final 30 games of the season. Now, I'm not sure how tough the Chicago game is going to be. If Vancouver beats them, then they'll be 3-1-1 on the road trip. That's exactly what I predicted a week ago before this 5-game road trip started. And 7 out of 10 would be a really good way to come home to play, I guess it's Detroit, and then Winnipeg, and then back on the road for some tough games. On the road once again. So it's not going to get any easier. Well, Chicago's a little bit easier, but overall, that's my one other thing. I think the games are going to be much tougher, more intense going forward, like playoff type feel, and I think Rick Tocchet will have his team ready for it. So Canucks fans, there's what I like, there's what I like, there's one other thing. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you didn't like. Let me know one other thing in the comments below. Tonight, 11 p.m., doing my live stream. We're going to wrap up this game in more detail, and I'm going to give away a pair of tickets to the Canucks Red Wings this Thursday. So make sure you join me tonight at 11 p.m. right here on my YouTube channel. Shout out to my sponsors, Vancity Extras Real Estate, Perform and Transform, Personal Training, Weight Loss. Thank you, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Carol Bovlander, legendary Andrew Chang, Hall of Fame franchise members for your support. And thanks to all of you for watching, for subscribing, and for liking. So on your way out, subscribe, like, leave a donation if you want to. You can become a member. You can upgrade your membership. And for sure, leave a comment below. Tell me what you like, tell me what you didn't like, and tell me one other thing. Can't wait to see you tonight at 11 p.m. for my live stream, giving away a pair of Canucks tickets. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. God bless, and go Canucks go.